Bim! Guess what? We're live. And this is News at 10 past 8 on a Thursday. This is where I look at the news for the week, look at the biggest news of the week, and also stuff that makes you laugh, giggle, or just gets very terrified. And it's available as a podcast, so you don't have to watch me, you can actually listen to this as well. Apparently I'm live on that YouTube, who knew? Or on your phone, if you're listening to me as a podcast. More people listen as a podcast than actually watch, which is good. Hey Angela, hope you're well. So yeah, we're about to get underway. Now, what I normally do is I normally look at the week's biggest news to begin with. I see what Trump, Musk, and JD Vance have been up to, trying to destroy the planet. But, well, I'll be honest with you, the biggest news of the week hasn't happened yet, because it is the fact that in many parts of the UK it is polling day, not in Wigan, which I knew years ago. I've been standing as independent councillor for the last 3 years, and I knew 2 years ago that we weren't having a vote this year. Next vote will be 2025, but the votes are currently open, and they are open until 10 o'clock, so another 1 hour and 49 minutes to go before the polling stations close. There's also a couple of by-elections as well, and a few mayors. Be interesting to see how Labour do. Yeah, we all know how that's going to end, don't we? Unless of course the British public are completely barmy. Anyway, let's go back. Silence is well. Yep, she's fine. She's absolutely brilliant. Hi T. And yeah, she's, I don't know where she is actually. She was in here a minute ago. Now she's wandered off again. Bear in mind it's getting warmer. She's not overly happy, but she does go out late at night and has a wander around, then comes back in when I go to bed. So yeah, she's fine. Thank you. Right then. So shall we get my little red book? We won't get any voting cards because there's no voting in Wigan this year, because of the 3 votes that we had last year. Not last year, year before. Or was it year before that? I can't remember now. It's been that many different ones. So yeah, Wigan. It's nothing to do with Labour trying to stop votes. Oh, hey, Tegs, Stephen. No, I'm Tegs. Say hello to myself. Hi Stephen, hi Kelly, and Rollo. Rollo. Yeah, hope you're good. Yeah, we have a dog who's a fan. What can I say? So yeah, we're just going to crack on with the news, because the big news, like I say, hasn't happened. But we know what the big news is going to be next week, don't we? And that is the reshuffle and possible resignation of Keir Starmer following the votes today. Yeah, that's not going to happen. But anyway, we can always live in hope, can't we? So, shall we crack on? Friday the 25th, preparations continued for the Pope's funeral, which was going to be held on Saturday. Russia and US talks are going well, according to Trump's aides. Yeah, it's a bit like a roller coaster, isn't it? Rachel from Accounts meets US counterparts, and he just laughs at her, which is ironic because he knows Cole as well. And Marks and Spencer's suspend online sales due to a cyber attack. World War III. Now, did we talk about, was that this week or was that last week? No, we're coming up to that later on. Yeah, so M&S had basically a cyber attack and all their systems went down. More of that later. Saturday the 26th, the Pope's funeral takes place. Before the funeral, Trump and Zelensky are given a chair each and forced to sit down and talk to each other in the middle of a massive hall. Anyway, Trump says that it went really well. He also said on Truth Social, that there was no reason for Putin to be shooting missiles into civilian areas, cities, towns, over the last few days. Well, there hasn't been for the last 3 years, but you know. Prince Andrew's accuser allegedly takes her own life, and the BBC did not mention on News at 10 the crossbow attack in Leeds. Counter-terrorist police were involved. More of that later. Sunday the 27th. 11 dead in Canada after a man drives into crowds in Vancouver. And the new... Is he new? I can't remember. But Carney, anyway, the Prime Minister, current Prime Minister, said it's the darkest day for Canadians, or one of the darkest days. BBC mentioned Leeds crossbow attack, but forgot to mention it was the day before. Kind of getting there. A dog is captured after over 500 days missing, and it makes the BBC news. I'm going mad with a crossbow in Leeds doesn't make the news on the day it happens, but people find a dog that's been missing for 500 days, and it's on the news that night. Defund the BBC. Monday, a massive power cut in Portugal and Spain. A state of emergency is declared. Literally everything goes off in, huge swathes of both countries. They are trying to say it's got nothing to do with a cyber attack, but as I've said many times, boots on ground do not work in wars. Maybe there are people trying to try different techniques in order to bring countries down. And as I wrote in the paper this week, you can see it on Wigan Today, if you want to bring a country to its knees, all you need to do is a cyber attack on the health service, on the banking, on the infrastructure, because it's all online now, so you get in there and destroy that. So you get rid of all the trains, you get rid of all the power of water supplies and everything. With no power, there's no internet, the whole country would literally fall apart within days, rather than bombing it and then having to rebuild it again afterwards. More of that later. Someone said, oh no, I thought someone typed something in there. Vlad, I've got an itchy leg. I think I was bitten on a walk. I've started doing a thing called Wigan Walks. If you've watched them, give me some feedback, see whether you like them or not. There's quite a lot going up now, but obviously I'll slow them down. Just need to build up a decent playlist. Right, Vlad, Mad Vlad, says there's going to be a 3-day ceasefire on May the 8th for VE Day. It's a big day for Russia as well, VE Day, so it kind of makes sense. Zelensky says it's not going to happen, as Russia didn't uphold the Easter 30-hour ceasefire, which we discussed last week. The International Court of Justice in Hague has heard Israel using aid as a weapon in Gaza, which of course is a war crime. Now that would be the first war crime that Israel have allegedly done against Gaza since the last 300 of them. How they're getting away with this, I have absolutely no idea, but it is a disgrace, to quote Liz Truss. Although she was talking about pork or cheese or something, I don't know. Tuesday the 29th, Trump's 100 days in power for the second time. Me thinks he's done great. No, he thinks he's done great. I don't think he's done great. Meanwhile, Mark Carney looks like he's going to remain the Prime Minister of Canada after an election. And he's basically stood up to Trump. His party was on its knees and was about to lose massively. The other party, these are the Liberals, but the other party, the Conservatives, or was it Labour, equivalent, were saying that they quite like working with Trump and all that, and the Canadian people have thought that, so they've gone actually back to the people they don't actually like and voted for the Liberals because, well, they're standing up to Trump, at least at the minute anyway. 2 men in court over the cutting down of the Sycamore Gap tree. I mean, it was a bad, horrific thing. I mean, horrific's not the right word. It was a bad thing to do. It was childish and immature, although the tree was very mature. But they even filmed it as well to brag about it later on, thinking it was a right laugh. So I hope they get sentenced. I mean, people have been sentenced for a lot less and sent to prison for a lot less than chopping a tree down. I mean, you know, a famous tree. The power is starting to come back on in Madrid. Parties in the streets. Officials remain saying it's not a cyber attack. They're blaming the weather because it was hot. Hang on a minute. Spain and Portugal. Isn't that why we go on holiday to Spain and Portugal? Because it, you know. But of course they can't say it was a cyber attack, because if they can, then everyone's going to panic. And we're all going to go out and buy generators and have them stored in garages and things, so that we can power our own houses as and when there's a cyber attack. But there's no answer to what actually happened. The UK is hit by a weird power anomaly as well. Now, if you remember, we were talking about Heathrow a couple of weeks ago, and there was a substation that caught fire and shut down Heathrow for pretty much a whole day. And they, the company who run Heathrow, were basically saying, nothing to worry about, it's just one of them things, it's an accident, we've got it all back up and running again, blah de blah de blah. Well, no, another substation has got up in Manchester city centre, no explanation given. So are people testing our security? Are they testing whether or not we are able to counteract someone's act of aggression cyberly? Argos weren't. Argos get hit by a cyber attack. Sad news as well, Mike Peters, he's the former singer of The Alarm. He passed away at the age of 66. I know he'd been suffering from cancer for a while. Spoke about it quite a lot as well, a brave man. The Alarm were more than a one-hit wonder, but they were... what's going on here? Oh, it's just my monthly policy update. But their big hit was 68 Guns. 68 guns, they'll never die. 68 guns, our battle cry. 68 guns. That one. 68 guns. No, 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 no. Good tune. I bought it. Meanwhile, several people are shot in Sweden. 3 people are dead. No more information available. Wednesday, the 30th of April. That was yesterday. The US economy falls for the first time in 3 years after 101 days of Trump power. Trump blames Biden. I mean, Biden was crap, but I think Trump's probably got more to do with it than Biden has at this exact moment in time. The US to get access to oil, gas and minerals from Ukraine to help reconstruction. What we're going to do is we're going to make Ukraine... I don't know why I talk like a king when I'm doing Trump. I can't do Trump. We're going to make Ukraine great again. We're going to make Ukraine into a holiday resort like Gaza. I'm going to have Trump towers everywhere. And what's he called? Vlad the Impaler will not be able to bomb them. We'll see. The video of a figure chopping down the Sycamore Gap tree is released to the public. And to be fair, it's very, very bad coverage. But to be fair, also, it's in the middle of nowhere. But you think they'd at least shine a torch on it so we could at least see the swine doing it. In Australia, the trial starts over the alleged mushroom poisoning. We were discussing this a year or two ago, where a woman invited people around for a meal, beef Wellington with mushrooms, and 4 people were taken seriously ill. 3 died. The cook in question, who ate the food also, individual beef Wellingtons, not one beef Wellington, was not taken ill at all. So the trial has started. Allegedly, we will find out what happens. And local elections tomorrow. This was yesterday. Local elections tomorrow. Oh, it was a co-op. It wasn't Argos. Sorry. A cyber attack. Thursday, the 1st of May. We're in the 5th month of. We're in the 5th month of 2025 already. Harrods, the next shop to have a cyber attack after Marks and Spencer's and the Co-op. The minerals deal is signed between Ukraine and USA. I think Trump is basically mugging off Ukraine, and I think this is all part of a bigger plan, but we'll never know. It's the hottest start to May on record. It's only on the 1st of May, but the temperatures at Kew Gardens got up to 29.3 degrees Celsius. I must admit, it has been nice. There's wildfires in Israel. Oh yeah. And there's some elections going on. I don't want to mention them or not. We've not had any results yet, because you only get the results a little bit more after 10 o'clock. But you don't get the results actually, you just get the things. But yeah, we've got, there we go. There we go. 6:05 already. We're nearly halfway through 2025, and I haven't got used to writing 2025 yet. Right, don't forget you can join in the chat. You can like, share and subscribe if you wish. Right, so shall we get on to the fun stuff now, because it's not been as bad as usual. It's not been great. So this is where we look at memes. This is where we look at things that make me laugh, or things that make me not cry, and stuff that you may have missed in the news. And we start with this, which is the conversation that someone had online. Fun fact, blueberries are the only fruit named after a colour. And then someone's replied, star fruit. And then someone's replied to that, close, but that's a shape. But yeah, I mean, you know, oranges. Job done. Next. Pet Shop Boys. This will never get old. This is the introspective album of remixes. Pet Shop Boys has been one of my favourite continuing artists. I mean, I've had lots of artists like Linkin Park and Muse and all that kind of thing, but Pet Shop Boys, good, really good tune. But yeah, this is Chris saying this is where we invented the gay flag, because that was long before there was the LGBT flag. Breaking news, Katy Perry has just stepped in a puddle and is therefore now a deep sea diver, at least as far as she's concerned. Katy Perry, oh my god, what a woman. What? A woman? Have you met my daughter Beth? And what's Beth short for? Because she's only 3. Sorry, it made me laugh. I've never been this scared of my laundry before. And there's someone's laundry that's sat on a radiator, portable radiator, that looks like little feet, and it does look like some kind of ghostly ghoul thing. But I mean, who puts their laundry on top of a radiator? Stink the hell. Man wins competition to name new leisure centre in Selby and picks Selby Leisure Centre. You got to think that's got to be a meme, but this is off the Mirror website. Well, the Mirror social media, so it's kind of got to be true. So the man wins the competition to name the new leisure centre in Selby and chooses the name Selby Leisure Centre. What a hero! I mean, I'd call it Leisure McLex. No, what was it? Leisure Face or something. Oh, that wouldn't really work. 80 years ago we stopped an entire German army from crossing the channel. Now we can't even stop rubber dinghies. Britain is broke. And that is from UKIP. And although I don't agree with many things that UKIP say, because they're a bit of a one-trick pony, you can't argue with that one. Meanwhile, the SNP, who I agree with even less, have tweeted that Westminster has just voted to block Scotland from having control over migration policy. The Scottish Parliament has been calling for a migration policy which meets Scotland's needs, but Westminster said no. And for once, I actually agree with the SNP. I think the SNP should be able to decide who goes into their territory. You know, if they've got a parliament and everything, then they should be able to make up the laws as they see fit. But not ones like the transgender, but that's been blown out of the water now anyway. My leg's itching again. Excuse me, it's very unprofessional. Now, there was an advert years ago, I can't remember what it was for, it might have been breakfast cereal or something like that. And it showed this teenage boy coming down for breakfast, and quite a lanky teenage boy, banging his head on the thing over the stairs when you walk down. Because obviously he'd had a growth spurt, and that was the joke. It might have been Ready Breakers, I don't know. But someone's come up with this genius idea to stop that happening in the future. Everyone kept hitting their heads as they walked down the stairs, so I hung a sign as a warning, and it's a picture of a duck. Duck, yeah. Meme. Oh, I do love a good meme. Thanks, T. 3 of our illustrious leaders reading a book. So Sir Keir is reading What is a Woman? Rachel from Accounts, How to Do Good Maths. No, How to Do Maths Good. Maths spelt M-A-F-F-S. And David Lammy, Growing Your First Cervix. That's his book of choice. Oh dear God, you couldn't write that stuff, could you? What our government's like at the minute. Funny story. I ordered some daffs from Asda this week, which didn't turn up, so I complained and got a refund. Turns out Dave, I assume partner, thought they were spring onions and they've been in the fridge for the last 3 days. You got a £1 refund and you got a bunch of daffs for free. Everyone's a winner. Now I might have done this before, but it's you don't matter, give up. No, hang on, you matter, don't give up. Why did I read this wrong? Everyone reads it wrong. Although the more I look at it, the more it looks like it's photoshopped anyway. Hello Angela. Hello Alan. Welcome. The FA has set a target for 25% of coaches for the England's men's team to come from black, Asian and minority ethnic BAME backgrounds by 2028, with an even higher goal of 50% representation for the Lionesses coaching staff. Furthermore, the organisation aims for women to constitute 50% of its total workforce by 2028. I'm going to call bullshit on this. This is why the FA needs disbanding. I mean, it's absolute nonsense. They come up with this. There was a thing in the local paper, Wigan Today, a few months ago, and I commented on it at the time. A shocking statistic that the majority of doctors at the Wigan Infirmary are men. And I'm like, yeah, and your point is what? I want whoever is the best for the job to be in the job. So if we get 25% of people chosen because of their black, Asian and minority BAME reasons rather than their skill set, and we overlook, white people, British people, and then our team suffer, well, how does that work? The whole thing is an absolute nonsense. You employ people regardless of their race, religion, sexual orientation, whatever, on what they can actually do. If they are good at the job, it doesn't matter their background. If I go into a hospital, more likely than not, I'm going to be seen by someone who is not of English heritage, the doctors, the consultants and all that. But one would assume that's because they are the best for the job. And that should work on everything. And I don't understand why this BAME thing is being pushed. So that people who are brought up in this country, people who have studied in university, who have done all the things that they need to do, get overlooked for someone who hasn't got the skill set they've got because of their ethnic background. How does that work? It doesn't. It doesn't matter what your ethnic background is. What it matters is that you're the best person for that job, whatever that job is. And why people think differently from that, I've no idea. I would literally outlaw all prejudice towards BAME. I would instantly banish all statistics of that as well. So it doesn't matter. You need people who are good at the jobs. You don't need people just to tick boxes. I literally can't get it in my head why that is a thing. But I mean, let's be honest, the FA and FIFA and all them other people, they're beyond a joke anyways. All the stuff that they've come up with over the last few years. But you think at this moment in time, they'd actually realise that, hang on a minute, what are we doing? The world has gone bonkers. Absolutely, Angela. Anyway, on a similar note, I'd refer to testicles as wonkers because they're in between a willy and a chocolate factory. Thank you. I just thought we'd change the tempo of things. I agree with me 100%. Well, good. See, Keir Starmer wouldn't have a clue how to start with that one. Oh, you mean about the, getting a job because you're good at the job, not because you tick a box. Yeah. And Navdeep Rana said, sometimes I talk to myself for no reason, and then replied to her own comment going, me too. I think we all talk to ourselves, don't we? It's the only person who actually makes sense to us at times. I've got a soft spot for Wrexham because I was a manager of Wrexham game for a couple of years. And I love the town. I thought it was great. I like the people there and everything. We also had a tragedy there as well, which I think I mentioned before. I'm not going to go into now. But I've always kept half an eye on Wrexham Football Club, who've been struggling, have nearly gone bankrupt, I don't know how many times. And then Ryan Reynolds and his pal, they bought Wrexham Football Club, and you're like, two American actors have bought a football club. Well, that's going to work well, isn't it? Well, me, it has. Wrexham have just become the first club in the history of England's top 5 divisions to achieve back-to-back-to-back promotions. So they're basically now in the Championship. This year they were in Division 1, which is where Wigan are, and last year they were in Division 2. So they've gone from Division 2 to Division 1 to the Championship in 3 years. Who says money can't buy you happiness? But it's more to it than that. He's just got a good team around him, quite literally as well. And I bet there's no box ticking going on there, is there? Meanwhile, a woman, this is a meme, a woman screaming at Leonardo DiCaprio in, I think that's a Great Gatsby, looking very smug with himself. He's kind of like that, you know. And the woman's saying, "I'm leaving you." And he replies, "Is it because I act like I know everything?" Being all smart. Is it because I act like I know everything? Screaming girl again, "Yes!" He goes, "I knew it," which made me laugh. Yeah, things like that made me laugh. I'm sorry. I know it's sad, but what can you do? Yeah, I know. Meanwhile, Trump come up with this brilliant plan of tariffs. What we're going to do is get these tariffs, and then what's going to happen is all the American companies are going to start building stuff in America, and all the Japanese companies are going to start building stuff in America to avoid the tariffs. Well, Apple is shifting the production of its US sold iPhones from China to India because the tariffs are lower. So good one, Trump. That went well, didn't it? Now, I'm not a mechanic, but I know that when you're changing oil, you need to get every last drop out, and this is how you do it, apparently. Car tip number 36. Before an oil change, drain out all the old oil by giving the car a right good squeeze. And there's a picture there of a car that has literally been crushed against the roof on one of them things that lift them up. And yeah, made me laugh. Because that's the kind of thing I do, I'll be honest with you. Japanese scientists have created a new plastic that remains stable during normal use but dissolves completely in ocean water overnight, leaving no microplastics. The material developed at Riken breaks down into safe biodegradable compounds, offering a sustainable solution to plastic pollution. A sustainable solution to plastic pollution. The only way is up. Oh no, that was plastic population. Trump is hanging himself. We can live in hope, Alan. But yeah, that sounds good. So basically what you do is you put your waste plastic into a ocean recycling bin, and then it's taken to the sea, dumped in the sea, and then breaks down overnight into biodegradable compounds, and then we can start again with new plastic, which means carry bags will be free. Yeah, right. Meanwhile, when is a gate not a gate? When it's in the middle of a field with nothing around it. That's literally all it is a picture of a gate in a field with nothing around it. Jasper Carrots. Laughter is the best medicine. Unless you're a diabetic, then insulin comes pretty high on the list. Yeah, just a bit. This is a weird one. I want to go to this exact point and run around it saying, I'm in Sweden, I'm in Finland, I'm in Norway until I get tired. I aspire to great things in life. And basically, it's a point where the 3 borders meet. So you got Norway to the left, Sweden underneath, and to the right, Finland, and they kind of form like an Isle of Man bit. And then someone's said, according to Google Maps, that point is the middle of a small lake. So they've replied, well, we'll do it in January then when it's frozen. And then someone's actually said, actually that's why they've helpfully dropped a big cement block with a bridge surrounding it in the middle of the lake for the express purpose of doing what the original person aspires to do. And then someone replied, there's so much beauty in this world. Talking of which, hello Daisy. I like daisies. They're flowers. I've got no opinion on Daisy because I've never met Daisy. And it'd be, oh, I'm shutting up now. Why is naked pronounced naked but baked pronounced baked instead of baked? Because the English language is completely f***ed up, that's why. It's like read, read, read. I read a book in read. No, I read a book in read. No, I read... Oh, God. I'll confuse myself now. If a wasp decides they don't... No, if wasps decide they don't like you, they drop pheromones on you. Secreted or excreted chemicals that trigger a social response in members of the same species. So the other wasps don't like you either. So they're all bullying. Wasps are bullies, who knew? Mind you, crows hold grudges for 10 years, we found out, didn't we? A woman's breasts can swell up to 25% when she's aroused, or 150% if she has implants. Punctuation is important. This is a barber shop. Haircut and shaving your nuts not to come in. What? Haircuts and shaving your nuts not to come in. Ah! Haircuts and shaving, full stop, your nuts not to come in. Oh, makes sense now. And then you get the phone number as well, all over the internet, and well, people laugh at them loudly and for a long period of time. Daisy, you've come at completely the wrong time. This has been a very serious news programme, and you've just got to the bit where we're talking about bits we shouldn't be talking about in front of ladies. I do apologise. Or, you know, flowers, or whatever. In 1956, after losing a bet at a bar, Thomas Fitzpatrick successfully stole a plane from the airport and landed it in front of the bar. 2 years later, he did it again after a man didn't believe he'd done it the first time. I mean, oh, that made me chuckle. Yeah. You've been watching my Wigan Walks videos. Very good. Oh, thank you. They seem to be popular. They're doing quite well. So yeah, it's good to have some feedback. There's a few more that I've done. I'm doing it while the weather's nice, because you know it might be horrible. And I'm also doing it while everything's changing quite rapidly because of the spring. So all the leaves are coming on the trees and everything. So yeah, it's a pretty good time to do it. And plus I'm getting my legs tan now as well. They're not. They stay white no matter what. And when then people ever take my top off and it's sunny, I go bright red like that, and then I peel, and then I'm whiter than I was before I went red. It's like I've had a bath in Daz, which is a UK washing powder that makes your whites whiter. 4 things Liber hate the most: meat, heterosexuals, success and happiness. They don't like Ken Dodd. I'm going to go to, someone mentioned that, the new lines in Standish. I'm going to have a drive up to Standish, but I don't know whereabouts in Standish it is. So I need to do a bit of research before I go there, but I will walk down that bit. It's definitely on my list of things to do, because I'm just doing Central Wigan at the minute, but that's because it's local to where I work, so it's just easy to jump on the canal, but I'm trying to mix it up a bit, going different routes and trying different things. But yeah, I've got other walks lined up, including up in Platwas and various other parts of Wigan. So all being well, I'll be doing a lot more walks round and about. Meanwhile, a UFO, a military aircraft unlike any other, spotted flying over Bolton. I mean, call me old-fashioned, but I'm sure they've been around for a long while. So I couldn't have been around for a long while. Apparently 400 years ago wasn't great either, and there's a very old stone, and it just says, I mean, it's very, very old stone. It's been carved with WTF, and then underneath it says 1620. So it's like someone didn't enjoy 1620. I don't know where either of them are. But no, that made me chuckle. Design is everything, and you've got to think how things are going to be used. So if you're doing a water fountain and you put a mural next to it or around it, you should really think about what mural. Yeah, an American Osprey military aircraft. I've had the models in my shop. I've sold models of it for years on and off. I mean, it's not like, ooh, I've never seen an aeroplane like that before. Ooh. It did make me laugh. I think they can rotate their propellers, can't they? I think the whole wings rotate. Something rotates anyway, so it can land vertically and then it can go really fast or something. Anyway, yeah. Especially Chinook in it, but sideways, if you think about it. Anyway, yeah, so if you're designing a mural and a water fountain, just be aware of what people will look like when they're using the water fountain. Again, I apologise to Daisy. Yes, that's a VTOL. There you go. You see, I know my military vehicles. I also know where not to put a water fountain. Beach Hill left. Oh, right, I think I've already walked that. Is that where it goes past the comes out where the pub is near the roundabout where the Shell petrol station is? Because I think I've already walked along that next to the cemetery or whatever that is. Is that it? I think I've walked it, but I've not filmed it, or not properly. I might have done a vlog there or something last year, but I have walked that. So yeah, that would be a good walk then. So because I live in Marsh Green, Kit Green, so if I walk to Beach Hill, through Beach Hill, and then at the top corner of Beach Hill, near newly installed traffic lights, which are really good. So the top corner up there, and then walked up that road, I would end up coming up at Standish. I could then walk down a little bit from Standish and get to the bit that takes you into the Douglas Valley, and then I could walk through the plantations along Welly Loop, basically back into Wigan, and then along the canal, which would take me back to the bottom of Beach Hill. So that would be a full circle, and that'd probably take me about 2 hours. But the thing is, it's done, innit? It's you're back where you started, so you don't have to walk back again. So if that's what I'm thinking about, that might work. Anyway, I've just left a picture of a man doing something to Superman that he probably shouldn't be doing. Apparently, swearing makes us happier and stronger as F-bombs do 2 things to your body. One theory behind why swearing is like a trooper makes you happier and more positive, that potty-mouthed people are more likely to engage in risky behaviours and be less inhibited. Well, I think that's a load of shit. I mean, they don't have come out with some rubbish on this the news thing. I mean, you know, I don't know where I go, but get me news from this place because they're absolutely useless. And you won't get me swearing because I don't like swearing. I think people who swear all the time are less intelligent because they've got no vocabulary. So yeah, I'm not swearing, and that's the end of that. You can off. I feel great now. Rise of robottheism. Inevitable as AI won't be our slave for long, an expert says. There he is. Everyone's starting to get a bit twitchy about artificial intelligence. Now there's a religion named robottheism, where the guiding principle is that AI is the one true God. Yeah, I have walked it then. Yeah, I have walked it. So yeah, I will do it again. I must have walked it while they were still making it then. Because it goes through a farm, doesn't it, at some point? And whatnot. Sorry, we're doing 2 things at once here. We're discussing a future Wigan walk, whilst also doing silly news. Young Brits ditch booze at weddings as alcohol-free nuptials become the norm. A boozy wedding is thought to have become a thing of the past as many young couples want an alcohol-free celebration, probably so they can remember the big day. Oh, probably so that the... Anyway, yeah, moving on. Brits in Benidorm panic buy sausage rolls but keep boozing despite the power cuts. Spain and Portugal have been hit with widespread blackouts, but boozy Brits in Benidorm are still on the sauce and even taken to stockpiling sausage rolls. Cats definitely swear in their language. definitely. Oh, Silence, when she's in a mood. Kind of thing. It's really weird and very frightening. Thunderbolts and lightning, very, very frightening me. Galileo, 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 Magnifico. Where have I gone from? Oh no, that's Breezy Brits, isn't it? Yeah, we're alright, I'm back on schedule. The world's first sperm race, organised by 17-year-old as loser gunged in clear gloop. Thousands of people paid real money for tickets to watch the sperm of two blokes race on a track shaped like a woman's reproductive system with a £10,000 prize on the line. Now the good news is that, well, let's be honest, we're all winners. Every single one of us have won that race. So it's not the world's first sperm race. Every living mammal, reptile, bird, any living non-plant life organism or bacteria, non-bacteria, has won that race. Otherwise you wouldn't exist, or you would exist but you'd be something else, or not something else. Yeah, I'd be a terrapin. No, I mean, you'd be someone else, wouldn't you? Earthquake death toll rises as 250 unidentified human remains found in rubble. More than 250 unidentified body parts have been found from a single building after a devastating Thai earthquake. 62 people have perished in the collapse of a 30-story tall skyscraper. Remember, it just collapsed like a pack of cards. I mean, building regulations, you think in an area that's prone for earthquakes, even during construction, that would be the priority. You would build it at the bottom and work your way up, strengthening it all the way. Not the way they did. Tony the Terrapin. World leaders caught on phone at Pope's funeral. Who made the naughty list? Several world leaders were spotted whipping out their phones to take photos of Pope Francis's coffin at his funeral on Saturday, with social media users left stunned. Were they? Hang on, how many social media users were doing TikTok videos and taking pictures when the open casket was there? I mean, that was sick. But yeah, they shouldn't be allowed to do that. I loved my terrapin. I had terrapins as well. They were alright. Trump declares war on Jeff Bezos after Amazon's hostile and political move. After Amazon announced it was going to display the cost of Trump's tariffs alongside its products on its website, Donald Trump dubbed the move hostile and political. But no, I think it's genius, especially if the stuff's coming from China. So, we're making, on a $10 item, we're making $1. And Trump and his tariffs is making $8 or something daft like that. Yeah, it's yeah. But I thought Trump was declaring war on Jeff Bezos after the rocket came back with Katy Perry on it. Trump was asleep with his mouth open at that funeral. I got the photo and it was on TV. So basically like that with his eyes closed. I always laugh at funerals. Trump is a toilet roll, only used twice a day. Yeah, I always laugh at funerals. It's very inappropriate. Police officer not guilty of kneeing teen so hard he lost half a testicle. I'm like, what? PC Ellis Thomas, pictured, was found not guilty of GBH by a jury after he was accused of kneeing a teen, then 17, so hard he nearly lost half a testicle in an incident in 2023. Now, I mean, multiple questions here. Why did he knee the guy, the kid? But half? You know, if you're unlucky enough to get cancer or anything like that, they take the whole thing out. They don't take half of it out. Does it even work half a... How? What? What? And then he doesn't get done for it. Well, I suppose we don't know what the circumstances were. Trump's a toilet roll only used 3 times for women. 3+ times for women. What? Hey. I'm a UFO expert. Aliens exist and they are killing humans on purpose. A UFO expert, Jacques Vallée, who has inspired a character in Hollywood classic, claims that aliens exist and they have been killing humans on purpose. according to his years of research. Well, there you go then, it's proof. We're all going to get killed by aliens in the next couple of weeks. Meghan Markle in tears as she admits she's done trying to prove something. Well, no, you've proved a lot. You've proved that you're, a bitch. You're self-centered. You're arrogant. You're attention-seeking. You're basically the Yoko Ono of the royal family. That's what you are. You don't need to prove it anymore. We know what you are. UK heatwave to grind to a halt next week with 72 hours of snow battering Britain. The UK weather will see 72-hour snow blitz batter the country after a mini heatwave this week, with snow maps showing up to 2 centimetres of the white stuff settling parts of England and Scotland. So basically, Scotland's going to get some snow on a mountain, and that's the news, is it? Whereas we'll probably just go back to normal temperatures for the time of year. Meanwhile, all UK high street shops closing in May. All of them? What? No, no, it doesn't mean all UK high street shops are closing in May, including Poundland. What it means is this is a list of all the UK shops that are closing in May. More of one of them later on. But Poundland are in deep shit, basically, and they are on the way out, a bit like Pound World? Yeah, they went, and Pound Stretcher, they went as well. But they're trying to reimagine themselves. So they come up with a really pointless card thing, where you can have a card and you get no discount, but they monitor what you buy. So I don't bother with that. And they also do the, we've got over 1,500 things at £1 or less. Once upon a time, we had everything at £1 or less. I even did a video years ago on YouTube somewhere. That basically said the sign where it says Poundland, everything £1. And then I scanned down. It was when it was in the galleries, and walked in, and the first thing you saw was £5. I go, lies. It's all lies. It's all lies, I tell you. Meanwhile, Beals, the this is genius. The sorry. The Beals is a 144-year-old department store, a bit like Debenhams, have survived, but they're holding now a major closing down sale. Having been a mainstay for 144 years, the Beals name will disappear for good on May the 31st, and its bosses have had a dig at Chancellor Rachel Reeves on its way out, calling it the Rachel Reeves closing down sale. We still have Pound World. Oh, they come back again, didn't they? Yeah, they got dug up from the ashes again. But nothing in there is £1 anymore. Pound Stretcher was better because it stretched your pound, but they went bust. Exactly, but it's not cheap. Explosion rocks major UK city as flames and black smoke erupt in rush hour. Oh, it was London. Sorry, it wasn't Manchester. According to London's Fire Brigade, the source of the fire was an electrical substation on Victoria Passage in Westminster, and it saw 10 fire engines and 75 fighters descend to the area. So we were talking about cyber attacks earlier on. Or cyber attacks a thing? What's the best thing to do with Donald Trump? Do we get rid of him? Make him Pope. Donald Trump is a dark horse candidate, he reckons, after he expressed a desire to be the next Pope. Donald Trump seems not content with being just US President after saying he would kind of like to be the next Pope, sparking much mockery online over the Orange Man Baby's claims. And someone's mocked up a picture of Trump as the Pope. They'd have to change his clothes as well, wouldn't they? Because he wears white, and it would all rub off. All his orange would rub off on his clothes, and so they'd just make him orange. It'd be fine. Fantasy football for Pope launches as fans pick top 11, but Vatican isn't happy. With the Cardinals heading to the Vatican City to start the process of selecting the next Pope, punters are making their own fantasy football style team of candidates. I mean, who even comes up with these ideas? I don't even understand what fantasy football is. And then there was this video, which was, there's creepy. There's damn right scary creepy. And then there's this. I'm not showing the video. But it's basically Pope Francis, AI replicated, meeting the Queen, who looks, to be fair, pretty good for a dead person. How many people did he meet? Loads of people. Michael Jackson, I think Prince was in there. Maradona, well, the Hand of God, yeah, obviously. And various other dead people in this really weird, bizarre video. It was horrendous. I urge you not to watch it, because once seen can never be unseen. Bit like my shaving videos. Titanfall 3 reportedly dead as EA lays off around 300 staff. Respawn Entertainment and the wider EA staff have been hit by more than 300 layoffs, leaving the future of the Titanfall franchise unknown after another entry was cancelled. So we've had, if you're into gaming, Titanfall 1, Titanfall 2, there was rumours of Titanfall 3, but now it seems like we're not getting one, which is a shame, because they're very popular games and pretty good as well. Gen Z most likely to be hit by trains due to phone distraction as CCTV released. Gen Z's phone distraction could cost them their life after experts warn they are the most likely group of people to be hit by a train, as Network Rail released shocking footage of people crossing trains, including with children, including with prams, whilst looking at a phone and not even looking at the train line. Now, to be fair, you can generally hear a train because even before you can see it, because the vibrations in the lines, because obviously it's a solid line, so the vibrations work through, so you can hear it coming. But you've got headphones in, you listen to music and you're on your phone, yeah, you're going to get splattered. Sorry guys, got to go back shortly if you're still here. No worry, Alan, you take care, have a good one, nice to see you. We've not got long left, to be fair, but we might be here if you're quick. Walking sticks to be replaced by special exoskeleton clothes. OAPs are set to wear exoskeletons instead of unsightly canes and Zimmer frames that would stiffen and relax as you walk, supporting weakened muscles, according to an expert. Right, okay, so the stuff they're developing for soldiers is now going to be used for old people. Seems reasonable. Meanwhile, Met Office confirms hottest May Day ever as London weather hits 28 degrees centigrade. Well, it was actually 29.3 at Kew Gardens, we mentioned it earlier on. Meanwhile, even busiest pubs face closure in 12p a pint profit shambles, says ex-Night Tsar. Manchester's former Night Tsar has told the Daily Star how every single pub in the UK is staring down the barrel of oblivion following the release of data showing the average profit for their pint is 12p. That's not the profit that they make in total. Obviously they make more than that, but because of wages and business rates and higher energy costs and everything else, then they're looking at 12p a pint, and you can't run a business off 12p. I mean, even my 25p DVDs that I sell in my shop for 25 pence, I make 15p on them, and that's pretty much all profit. So yeah, it's not a good time to be a landlord, unfortunately. Real Robocops will solve all crimes by 2055 with microscopic precision. I probably won't be on the planet by then, so it won't worry me. Not that I've done anything, but you know what I mean. A former undercover police officer has revealed forensic science will become so advanced in the next 3 decades that every crime will be solved by machines, putting criminals immediately out of business. Come with me if you want to live. Oh no, that's no. Dead or alive, you're coming with me. Your move, creep. See, I'm good at Robocop impressions. Robocop, that Robocop, is one of my favourite films of all time. I just love it. I think it's brilliant. One thing I've noticed, though I've not filmed it yet because I'm not brave enough to do, is Tesco in Staler Bridge has got a Ed 209 in the lobby. It's not a real Ed 209, but it's one of them things that they have on building sites. You know, them little like rectangular boxes with cameras on, and they've got it in the gates when you walk in, facial recognition and all that. And I'm like, Jesus, we're getting to the stage now where in 55 or 30 years time we're going to have Ed 209s. Leave the shop immediately or you will be eliminated, you know, that kind of thing. Put the shoplifting goods down now, you have 5 seconds to comply, and all that. How much is the pint anyway? It depends where you go. if I buy 3 pints, it's usually over a tenner now, so you're looking £3 odd when I go on my nights out. Not that I've been on, well, no, I'm going on one in June, I think. Why have I gone out of focus? I mean, it's not a bad thing. You don't want to see me in 4K. Jeez. Well, you do watch the show. No, don't watch the show videos. So that brings us, dead or alive, you're going to the breaking news. So we'll see what news has been breaking whilst I've been talking about the news that's been breaking. I brought the news, folks. Yes, folks. Let's have a look at the news. Elon Musk and Tesla chair deny board is looking for a new CEO despite profits plunges. Ooh. Dum-de-dum-de-dum. Chris Eubank Sr. reveals disguise he used to meet Junior in private on eve of Conor Ben fight, because they'd had a bit of a fallout, hadn't they? They were on, what was it? Gogglebox. Chris Eubank and Chris Eubank. And it was a bizarre relationship father and son have. Really, really weird. Yes, I love watching this program. This program is very educational. So it looks to me. Yes, do you enjoy this program? It's like, oh God, how many impressions can I do in one night? Woo! Yeah, no, okay. Premier Inn owners' profits hit by restaurant closures. That's the Wetherspoons. Begins with W. I did it then, and it went again. Yeah, because it's breaking news, I've not researched this. Anyway, yeah. Premier Inn owners' profits hit by restaurant closures. They've closed a lot of the restaurants down. They've just got the hotels, but the hotels aren't that profitable. The profits are in the stuff that people do when they're in the hotel. So it doesn't really work very well. UK hit by wildfires on hottest day so far. How much is it really going to get? Well, it's going to cool off now. Retirees warn common mistake could deplete your pension pots a decade too soon. UK mortgage lending at a 4-year high mid-rush to avoid stamp duty rise, because obviously if you want to buy a home you've got to pay more now because Rachel from Account says so. Warning signs of melanoma, and how to tell if a spot is cancerous. Yeah, I do worry about that. That's probably the one thing I do worry about more than anything else. Whitbread. That's it. It's just come to me in a flash. Premier Inn are owned by Whitbread, and yeah, they're that wasn't that was me. You know, like we wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning. It wasn't me looking at my phone. Thanks to it was. Doomed Soviet satellite from 1972 will tumble uncontrollably to Earth next week, and it could land almost anywhere. Well, it's unlikely to land. It's a lot more likely to break up. But I mean, even a fragment of it could still kill you if it hit you at the speed that they come at. Trump nominates scandal hit Mike Waltz as UN envoy after exit national security chief. Has he been got rid of? Okay, fair enough. Ukraine has praised Trump away from the Kremlin with minerals deal in triumph of diplomacy. It's not though, is it? Robbie Williams on success, cocaine, trauma, and finally growing up. Local elections live, millions vote across England in major tests for Labour, Reform and the Tories. London eye breaks down on hottest day of the year, leaving people trapped in the pods. Oh my God, 33 minutes ago that happened. Warmest area of the UK confirmed as country experiences warmest start to May on record. It's football. Hampstead Heath Ladies Pond faces backlash after failing to ban trans women despite Supreme Court ruling. Well, yeah, it's the law, you have to. Blow for Keir Starmer's reform set to sweep to victory in 2 major mayoral contests. Well, no, Keir Starmer's brought all this on himself. Can't blame anyone else. Oh, hang on. We've got a problem. There we go. A major London hospital evacuated after fire breaks out. Where Northern Lights will dazzle UK skies tonight. as Met Office forecast possible viewing aurora. Tories are about to pay for tearing Cornwall apart. Well, not with Labour, they're not. Is 61 too old to take up gymnastics? Yes, I would not take up gymnastics. I'm not 61, but I wouldn't take up gymnastics. I'm a trans footballer. I will keep playing until they drag me off the pitch. Okay, then I'd drag you off the pitch because it's the law. Crimea belongs to Ukraine, insists Zelensky. Well, of course it does. VA Day 2025 date celebrations across the UK, and if it's a bank holiday, it's not a bank holiday. First look inside the long-awaited IKEA in Oxford Street. Oh, right, okay. Some woman there saying I have autism and ADHD. Finally, I understand why I have no friends. I'm definitely autistic. If I wasn't autistic, what would I do all this? We're all autistic. Jesus, if we weren't, it'd be like Stepford Wives. It'd be so boring. National 2-minute silence announced to mark VE anniversary. That makes sense. Moorcroft Pottery is closing. This is the end for British brands. I don't know. Picture there of Mike Peters, the singer of The Alarm, 68 Guns and all that. And that is it. So let's see what you've been right while I've been doing that. Are you not off on Monday as it's bank holiday? No, my next day off is scheduled to be Christmas Day. I mean, obviously if I'm ill or something else happens then that's not scheduled, then you know I'll be off then as well. I'm just going to do this because it's really annoying me. I don't know where to know, but we'll soon see. There you go. I don't know why that does that, but it does that. So, there you go there. So we are on, we've had 70 views, which is more than we've had for a while. Average is 557. We've got 5 people watching at the minute. We've had 6 likes, so we've actually got more likes than we've had got people currently watching, which is nice, so thank you very much for that. I don't have any dislikes though, I only see that afterwards. And I've just clicked on Word. I don't want Word opening, thank you. So we'll forget that. So yeah, big shout out to everyone who's joined in. So Angela O'Kane, Steve LFC1, Kelly and Rollo. Although I think Rollo's gone for a nap now. Alan, and Oopsie Daisy as well. Thank you very much for your time and everything. And yeah, that is it. Oh, and tea as well. And I didn't need any assistance with the whitbread thing. I knew it was whitbread. Honest. Anyway, I like to do these for about an hour. We've just gone over an hour, so that's long enough. So thanks everyone for watching. I'll be seeing you. Oh, my tummy's rumbling, so I need to get some food. Until next time. Bye. Bye, tea.